All right, friends, officially welcome to another comedy show here at Covert Cafe. How's everybody doing? Quintessential question everybody asks at the start of a comedy show. I hate that question, right? How are you feeling? How do you feel? Right? Especially right now. Isn't that the most annoying question ever? How do you feel? Every single one of you in this room right now knows exactly how I feel. Right? With my hands. When I'm feeling spicy, with my mouth, but, that's fine. My name is Katy Ipock. I get to be your host today, and if you guys don't know who I am, it's totally okay. There's a chance my actual dad doesn't know who I am either, so I'm used to the feeling. It's fine. It's fine. No, I was born 8 years after my dad had a vasectomy by the U.S. Army Medical Corps. Yeah, apparently the doctors in the Army are not as good as the grunts at, cutting supply lines or whatever. So I assume that makes me sponsored by the U.S. Army, right? I actually learned that my biological father gets an extra $25 a month on his Army retirement because they fucked up his vasectomy. Yeah, the U.S. government has literally quantified the value of my accidental life at $25 a month. Yeah, I am worth one drunken binge at Taco Bell a month. That's it. That's all. That's all this bitch is worth. It makes you feel really good about yourself. This show is Bending Portland. All of us comedians are either currently living in Bend or have lived in Bend. I am a third-generation Bendite. I don't know if any of you give a shit about that, but in Bend, that's a pretty big deal. I'm a mill worker's kid, and so my life as a kid, my life was built around the mill whistle. I don't know if you all are familiar with that, but Bend could hear it, and so when the whistle went off at 5 o'clock, I knew it was time to go home for dinner. And if the whistle went off again at 7 and I wasn't home, I knew I was going to get my ass beat. And so now every time I hear a work whistle, I get hungry and turned on, and that's a really hard thing to explain. It's a tough kink to explain to people sometimes. But it is weird. Are any of you familiar with Bend? Do you guys go to do the outdoors? Right? Good for you. I don't get it, but that's because I live there. I was up at a lake the other day, and I was using a porta potty because I'm a classy bitch. And inside, there was a sticker that says, "This porta potty has helped save 10,000 gallons of water." And I was thinking about it, and I was like, if this porta potty was anywhere else, that would make sense. But this porta potty is in the middle of fucking nowhere. And if this porta potty wasn't here, I would just be pissing on the dirt. So I don't think this porta potty has saved any water whatsoever. It wasted valuable plastic being created. I grew up in Central Oregon. I did a lot of pissing outside growing up. Spring break for me was like camping. I don't know if any of you are familiar with Prineville Reservoir. Oh, you guys are familiar with the island? Yeah, be careful digging on that mountain in the island because my family has shit on that mountain. My family's DNA is all over that fucking place. So, don't dig, all right? There's literally a picture of me being potty trained at Prineville Reservoir. Me on one of those potty training chairs, surrounded by my family, and they're all drinking Busch Light, okay? If you want to know what getting raised in Central Oregon's like, that's the fucking picture. It's great. But Bend's grown a lot in the last 30 years. It's huge, and it's weird still living there. I drive around Bend, and there are these places that used to be remote, and I used to take boyfriends to go give them blowjobs that are now paved over and have apartment complexes and shit, They paved over my paradise and built a gentle fucking dental, I mean, sure, I can still get pricks in my mouth, but now I have to pay for it there. So it's nice to be in a big city here. I'm excited to be in Bend, although Well, Portland. I'm in Portland. It is nice to be in Portland. However, I do have to have somebody else drive when we come to big cities because I'm used to Bend. And driving in Portland is like being in an orgy for me. And I do not like keeping track of that many assholes at once. Like, it's not... Okay, and I don't like dodging dicks to find my exit. It's not my thing. I'm not good at it. But I have found that here you can find Earl Grey macaroons, which I know, that sounds really fucking weird, right? And you would think they would taste horrible. But I love them. And I think it's because they taste exactly like my personality. You know, like they're just sweet enough that you're not overpowered by the bitterness. Like, an Earl Grey macaroon tastes a lot like what I think Captain Picard's cum tastes like. That's probably why I like it too. That one's for the Star Trek people. You guys ready for a good show tonight?